Yes, what's happening, folks? Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It is the starting 11 prediction for the final game of 2024 at home against St Johnston tomorrow. And we come into this one off the back of that 4-0 win over Motherwell on Boxing Day, which moved us 12 points clear of Rangers at the top of the table. They went on to get beat by St Mirren in the quarter to six kickoff, which was absolutely lovely. So we're sitting 12 points clear, and it turned out a brilliant Boxing Day all round. I think on the game itself, we started in a similar vein to the way we had been in the last two or three games. Maybe not quite at our most devastating in the final third, but once we got the breakthrough, I think in that second half, the tempo and intensity was back, and we played much more like ourselves. And obviously, the introduction of Hatate, Kuhn, and Kyogo in the game really helped us, and we kicked on for there, and we got a really convincing win in the end. Let's hope we can do that again tomorrow. St Johnston come into this game rooted to the bottom of the table. It's the first time we'll have faced them under Simo Valakari. They're obviously trying to play slightly differently against the rest of the league. You associate with St Johnston sort of strong defensive direct style of play under recent managers in recent years, but Valakari, to his credit, is trying to get them to play a bit more. Whether they'll do that in an away game against us, though, is a totally different matter. But they're rooted to the bottom of the table. No wins in their last five. Their only real positive result in those last five games was a 1-all draw at Pittodrie, and Aberdeen have totally dropped out of form as well. So St Johnstone are really struggling just now. For us to close out 2024 on a high, to get another victory, hopefully by another comfortable margin. A really good performance to set us off into that game, that New Year game at Ibrox, which now is a really brilliant prospect for us. The opportunity to move 15 points clear if we can beat Rangers in that game. So there's lots riding on this. I think it's an important game for us. The game before those big derbies is always important, and I think we just want to get it in as good a vein of form as we possibly can, and to close out the calendar year of 2024, which has been absolutely remarkable. We've only lost two games, one domestically, one in Europe. I struggle to think of a calendar year in my lifetime where Celtic have lost as little games as that. Think about this time of the year, December, we've usually lost three, four, even five Champions League games by this time, so to only have lost two in the whole calendar year of 2024 is a remarkable achievement for the team, for the manager. It's a huge credit to them that we've been that consistent. We've won every trophy as well in that time. Obviously, the Scottish Cup and the league at the back end of last season, the League Cup just a couple of weeks ago there at Hampden. So it's been a fantastic year, and let's hope we can go and round it off tomorrow with a resounding win. So let's look at the team then. I think I was a few out for the team that faced Motherwell. We'll start in goals like we always do. I'm stuck on that 8 correct 11s so far this season. Let's see if I can get 9 tomorrow. Schmeichel in goals. Very little for him to do on Boxing Day against Motherwell. Back four, I'm going to put Johnston back in. It wouldn't surprise me to see him sit out again. I thought he was going to be back, and I've heard Brendan Rodgers' updated comments on his fitness situation that they thought he'd be back for Boxing Day, but there was really no need for them to risk it. Whether that will be the case again tomorrow, or if they think it's best for him to come in and get some game time, get a start ahead of that game at Ibrox, or they may well be confident that he can just come in and hit the ground running at Ibrox. We'll see. But I've just went and put him back in the starting lineup. I think he's a really important player for us. But to Ralston's credit, I think he deputises really well. I think as a squad player, you know exactly what you're getting for Ralston. Absolutely no issues with him. His commitment and his drive to do well for Celtic is 100%. So I think Johnston coming back would be a huge boost for us, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Ralston keep his place, and then Johnston back in for the derby. Centre halves, Carter Vickers, I'm going Scales this time, and Taylor at left back. I think Trusty, having missed out the last couple of games, will miss out again tomorrow. I think Liam Scales is in with a right chance of playing at Ibrox. I think if he plays well tomorrow, he's not really put a foot wrong because he's come back in the team. And I think Brendan Rodgers might see fit to just keep that pairing unchanged. It was obviously the pairing that we relied upon last year for the majority of the campaign, and it wouldn't surprise me to see the manager stick with that. I'd like to see Vai come in and play a bit more, but it really does seem like he's dropped out of things the last maybe 3 or 4 games. I think he had a couple of minutes off the bench towards the end of the game on Boxing Day, but he's really not been getting as many minutes as he was if you go back maybe 2-3 months ago. Midfield, McGregor Engels, who got man of the match against Motherwell, and Hatate, who was brilliant off the bench. I think that'll be the three tomorrow. Again, it's maybe unfair on Bernardo because the way it's gone for Paulo Bernardo since his permanent move to the club in the summer is that he's came in for a start and dropped back out again, and he's been in and out of the team and really unable to find a rhythm. But again, that's symptomatic of the competition that we have in that area of the pitch. Again, Luke McCowan might be another one who's trying to get in here for a start. I think Hatate's performance off the bench was brilliant, really, really good in terms of a 30-minute performance off the bench. Played really, really well, scored a goal, looked a threat every time he got on the ball. He was receiving it really well in the half turn. Looked really dangerous. Again, maybe that fresh impetus at starting a game on the bench and wanting to come on and prove that he should be starting for the big games coming up. Done him the world of good. I think Engels puts the penalty away really well. I think he's a decent all-round game. Probably deserved man of the match because he's pivotal in the second goal as well with that set-piece delivery. And again, penalties and corners are something that we've had problems with for multiple seasons now. And you have to give Arne Engels credit. His corner delivery is brilliant. It's the best we've had at Celtic for a long time. It's the most consistent. Yes, he'll have one or two every now and then that maybe don't beat the first man, but when he gets them right, they're whipped in at a ferocious pace, right into a good area. And we have scored, off the top of my head, a good few goals from corners this season, at least 3 or 4 that I can remember off the top of my head, and that's due to his delivery. So that is one area of his game where he's really helped us. Again, there's lots of growth and lots of development in him to come, but I think he's done more than enough to keep his place in the team tomorrow. I think Kuhn, who scored off the bench against Motherwell as well, will come back into the team to start. He's a massive player for us. I think looking ahead to that game at Ibrox, you want to have him at full speed. He obviously missed the Dundee United game. Got again maybe half an hour against Motherwell. Looked good, looked sharp, constant threat, wanting to drive at people and be direct. That's what we need him to do time and time again. I think he'll get a start tomorrow. I think Maeda will keep his place, and I think Ida might drop back out and Kyogo will come back in. And again, that's similar to the Bernardo situation in midfield, where Ida might feel like he never gets a run of starts. He's constantly back in and back out of the team, and it disrupts his rhythm and doesn't allow him to get into a good flow. But I think, again, looking ahead to the game at Ibrox, I feel like the manager will go with Kyogo, given his record in the fixture. I know he was quiet in the cup final. You can let me know your own thoughts on that below. Would you like to see Ida start at Ibrox? I just don't think he does done enough in the starts that he's had. It's okay to make allowances for him and say that, well, he's not had a run, he's not had a 5 or 6 spell of 5 or 6 games where he's started every one and he's been able to go up to full speed. But you can also look at it and say these couple of starts that he's getting are his chance to take the bull by the horns and prove to the manager that he should be playing. I'd like to see him be a lot more cleaner in his control, his touch. I think there's a couple of wee half chances against Motherwell where he was in good areas and he receives the ball, but his touch just isn't close enough to him and doesn't allow him a chance to maybe get a shot away and get a half yard. I think his all-round play could be much sharper, and I think it has to be to displace Kyogo. I know that Kyogo, for his own standards, has been way off top form this season, but I think, again, in terms of his work rate off the ball and his all-round technical ability, I think that's ahead of Ida. I know that Ida offers different physical attributes and helps you get up the pitch and holds it up better. But I think Kyogo's technical all-round game's better, and I think Ida has to do more to displace him based on his record so far at Celtic. So there you go, that's the team I think the manager will go with tomorrow. You can let me know the areas of the team that you disagree with in the comments below. Please don't forget to like the video, and we'll see you outside the ground tomorrow with full-time reaction wherever you're watching the game. Enjoy it. Cheers.